what is SAP, who can learn as a career how it is. Okay, so ERP is basically this lecture was almost 45 50 minutes, so you can just go through that lecture. Okay, I'll just give you a summary here. So the SAP is from, like, it was founded in 1972. From there it is getting built, and we have multiple modules in that. So the basic and the core modules from there is SAP MM, materials management, SD, sales and distribution, PP, production planning, FICO, finance and controlling. These are very basic, and all of the companies will have this. Apart from that, ABAP is there. ABAP is a technical module where you need to code. Then Basis is there. Basis is for providing access to users. Like, suppose I'm the user, so I should not be allowed to a particular transaction or particular company or particular plant. So that all limitations are provided by Basis guy. So basically, what is ERP? So ERP contains multiple components from a manufacturing, trading, or any sort of company. So here we have MM for materials, purchasing and inventory, then PP for production, then we have sales and distribution for sales, FICO for finance, accounting, and everything, all of these things. And SAP has multiple modules, like about 60 modules. Okay, but the core which I have told you, that are the core one. So this is a procure to pay cycle in which we there is a requisition created in this requisition is entered in the system, then the source is determined, means the purchaser will look into the market who from whom I can buy this, and then one of the vendor will be selected for him. Purchase order will be given, then goods receipt. When the material comes to my plant, I'll do the goods receipt, and then I'll pay the vendor with invoice verification. So these are two types of SAP screens. This is SAP GUI, which is the older one, and this is older means it is not obsolete, or it is not like it is old, so no one is using it. Almost many of the companies are still using GUI. Graphical, we call it graphical user interface. SAP graphical user interface, SAP GUI. So right now also we will be also using the GUI and the Fury screen. So the left side is GUI and the right side is the Fury screen. So this is the new interface which is introduced in SAP S/4HANA. So this is an example, like some of, not some of, like it is almost 5760 modules from SAP. Now, this is something like there are multiple versions in S/4HANA. Like you have an Android phone and it gets updated every 3 months, 6 months, or whatever. So, as what SAP is doing, SAP is upgrading. So SAP, like an Android phone, SAP is getting new updates every year. Okay, this is for on-premise version. There is one more version which is a cloud version. For cloud version, every three months it is updating, giving the update. And later, like who can learn SAP? So anyone, like no background is required, no educational and no work background is required for this. So at any point of time, you can enter into SAP. The second thing is type of work what functional is doing. So these all things we are going to discuss in more detail in today's session. Okay. Then for where you can get hired. So it is IT company, manufacturing companies. Okay. So manufacturing companies, they also have a IT team within the company. So there you can be hired. So IT companies and this manufacturing IT department will have same kind of work. And then the salaries for freshers are 2 to 5 lakh, 3 to 5 years, 5 to 12, 5 to 10. It is 10 to 30, and 10 plus is 20 plus. It can be 25, 30, 40 up to that. So here, like when you are starting, it will be like your experience into two. your salary will be. If you have 2 years experience, you will get somewhere around no, you can say your your experience into 2.5 to 3 times. You have 2 years experience, you will get 5 to 6 lakh of salary. So you can calculate that way. That is today's market. Yeah, I'll just answer in short. Okay. See, it is like when you are on a on-premise version where you have access to GUI and Fury both. So for transactions, everything is there in SAP Fury. But for configurations, not everything is moved to Fury at this moment. But if you go to SAP Cloud, every configurations and transactions, everything you will find in Fury. Mapping we don't have for that. Now see when you are you are learning this particular thing means I have not found the mapping. Maybe SCN will give somewhere on SCN someone must have posted this thing. Your question. Maybe you will get it over there. But usually like you want to create a purchase requisition. So what you will do is you will check for purchase requisition. So with the words, you will find that particular thing in Fury. So even if with the transaction, yes. O- Okay, so fine. So everyone, we have went through why learn SAP. Okay, just SAP MM. It's a high demand. Like wherever you have SAP, you have SAP MM. It is not for same for all modules. If there is suppose EWM is there, not every company is using EWM. It is extended warehouse management. Okay, so SAP has a module, but not every company is using that. But SAP MM is like wherever you will find SAP, you have SAP MM. Okay, because it's a core module. So demand is good. The can help you improve your job skills. Job skills means many people are working in manufacturing, in purchase, in production. So they try to upgrade their skills and they can learn SAP MM. Okay, so you can just go through this written things. Okay. I'll okay. How the course is taught. So we start with the very basics for the business process. So we try to understand. We try to visualize the business process. Suppose it's a import procurement. So what exactly happens in every step of that? We try to understand that, and later on we move to the SAP transactions. We do the whole process in SAP and then we move to the configuration. So why English? The reason is because you will understand more terms which I speak about SAP in English. So English is a better way to understand. Okay. So whoever is thinking like uh, okay, we need a slow pace. I'll go with the slow. Right now, it was a summary with the demo session, so I was fast. Now I'll go in a slow pace from here. Okay. Mm, okay. Is it fine? Okay. So to install GUI, there is a software of like 1200 MB. You have to just download it. When you click on the setup, you'll get this screen. You have to click on next. Again, here you have to select this option, go for next, browse wherever it is C folder. You don't need to do anything next. Then it will get installed. To like enter the connection, click here on the connection. Then the screen will come up. Go to the next. Then you will get some details like this server, instance number, SID. You enter that here. That's it. You will get a connection like this. You double click on this and you will come to a page where ID password can be entered. Okay. So don't worry about this. Once I will ask you to download and install, I'll again, if you get some issue, I'll again show you. Okay. Now access to Fury, I have told yesterday. This is the link. I will paste the link. This link. You also have access. Just log in into the website and you will get the access to Fury library will come after some time to this. Okay. Then, okay. Now we have multiple systems in SAP. Okay. So we can call it as landscape. Okay. So usually this is not only about SAP. If you go in any of the softwares, any kind of softwares, you will find this thing. So here what happens is you have dev system, quality system, and production system. So we call it as environment also. Here you can see dev environment, development environment, then quality, quality testing, quality assurance and testing environment, and PRD is production environment. So what happens is in development, usually what we do is we do the development. Development is like coding and also the configuration. So who will do the coding? We are not doing any coding as a MM consultant. We we will ask the ABAP guys, ABAP, SAP ABAP, it's a module. We will ask that team to code few things or few developments. Okay. So right now here you need to only understand there is a module ABAP, they will code and we are not coding. What they will code, that we'll discuss later on. Just at this moment, you need only this understanding. So dev environment is for configurations, which we do. What are configurations? So SAP is a pre-built software or it's a platform. So SAP has built everything, coded everything, and what we need to do is we need to, when we ask anything to the customer, like if they say we have 5 plants. So in SAP there are no plants. There is one standard plant what SAP has given, but now that 5 plants or 5 plants we need to configure as a MM consultant. So we will ask the customer what should be the code for that, what is the description, address, and everything. We will go into the system, we will add a plant, we will put the plant description and all details regarding that. So like this, we have to do number of configurations. So what configurations we need to do that we are going to see in the upcoming sessions. Okay, this is like doing the configurations and understanding the whole process cycle is what we are going to do in this whole learning process. So dev environment is where we don't test anything, we just develop things or configure things. Once that is done, we move that request. See here it is given transport management between dev, QAC, and PRD. So dev, okay, one more thing. Um, okay, so maybe you must be knowing this particular photo. Okay, these are servers. These are all servers. So this particular one block is one server. This is one server. This is one server. So these are like multiple servers over here. So here the dev system as a hardware, it's one server here. This one server is dev. This one server is dev. One is quality, one is production. Okay. So why these are different servers? Okay. Suppose server means hard disk, you can say. So if my dev system, in case of any issues, my dev system, because of some reason, it got damaged, it got burnt, it got corrupt. So that should not impact my quality. If my quality gets damaged, it should not affect my production. And if production goes, see, these all things are with high, I would say, security or all type of things. They are maintained in a very, like, they are given very importance, all servers. So these servers, anyone will not impact the other if there is any physical damage to this. Apart from this, when the configurations are done, so if I do some configurations here, it will not, it will not direct, it will not be directly moved to QAC or production. They need some approvals, or they go with a process or a particular person only with the valid reasons. When a consultant will give a valid reason to him, then only he will move to the next environment. So in this way, so once it is moved to the QAC, so at that time the testing is done. So whatever we have developed, so is it working fine? So that testing we will do in QAC, quality. We are checking the quality of our development and testing. Well, quality and testing is similar. And then it is moved to production. Production is the environment where, if you are working in Tata Motors, you have 5,000 people on the manufacturing line who is working. So what they will do is, like, they will, these all guys will do the entry in this production system, and all finances will be updated, all materials incoming, outgoing, sales will be updated in this system. So this is the most important thing in a company. Okay. So once the quality is checked, it will be moved to production, and then everyone can use it. Okay. So for what it is written, you can just read it later on. Then same thing what I've told you, dev to quality and quality to production. The movement is done. Okay, that's it. Any query till here? Anyone? And yes, please, okay, please feel free to ask anything. Okay, don't be shy. In any case, you, all of you don't know each other, so no need to shy. No, if anyone says anything, it doesn't matter to you. Okay, and I will never say anything, so it doesn't matter to you. Okay, so the next thing, if we are okay, I'll move to the next thing. So now this was very basic. Okay, now we will move to like how the SAP is implemented in a particular company and how things happen while the implementation. So the implementation is done for SAP. It is done in two ways. One is SAP methodology, and the second is Activate methodology. So, what is SAP methodology? Here we have five phases of implementation. So, in five of these phases, like we have the project preparation phase. So, basically, in this phase, what happens is, suppose I'm a company like Tech Mahindra. So what Tech Mahindra will do, and suppose you are a customer. So what is your, you are having some system in your company right now, and you want to scrap that and go on to SAP. So what you will do, you will first approach SAP, or you will first approach a company like Tech Mahindra, TCS, or someone, and then you will ask them for, like, what, like, we need SAP, we want SAP, so what is the costing and everything. So any one of them will come to you with things, more information about like how much it will cost you, what hardware you will need, and everything. And then your approach will be like, okay, we are into suppose pharmaceutical auto or automobile industry. So we want someone to implement this in our company. So SAP will recommend few of the vendors to you. Like these are three, four vendors. You can go to them and they will give you good service, something, blah blah, and you will go to this four, three, four vendors which SAP has suggested, or you can go outside also, not only their suggestion. You will ask for quotations. You will ask for you will uh, put your conditions or your business process in front of them, and you'll ask them how will you fulfill our requirements. So on that basis they will do some POCs, they will demonstrate you how SAP will work and everything. Once that is done, you will with the quotations like how much cost they are, each company, each vendor is giving you for implementation. On that basis, you will be select technical and on budget. You will select one vendor. Also, the timeline in how many months they are going to implement. Multiple criterias, and you will select one vendor. So once that vendor is selected, then you will be mapping sub project timelines and everything with the first the project manager will be assigned who will be handling this whole project. And once he is assigned, then he will be connected with you are a customer, I am a vendor. So my project manager will come sit with you or call you. He will with a mutual understanding, a project kickoff date will be finalized, when to start the project and everything. Who are the stakeholders? Stakeholders means who are the responsible people from customer, your side, and even from my side. So I will be having my consultants assigned to this particular project. From your side, from the manufacturing company, you will be assigning some key persons who can help the consultants to understand the process. You will be assigning that to the project. With that, all the steering committee means there will be a weekly, fortnight, or monthly meeting. So, who will be attending that meetings? How will that work and everything? Then the project plan. What will be the what each phase? How much time it will take? How to have an approach of each phase? All of these things will be done by the project managers from the IT company and from the manufacturing company. They will do all of these things. Once that is done, then when the kickoff date is decided, then they will start the business blueprint. Okay. So for business blueprint, the very like how it happens is uh, the consultants will usually go to the customer site. Like if it's a manufacturing plant, your manufacturing plant. So myself as MM consultant, PP consultant, SD consultant, my project manager, all will be going to that plant. So we will be first day we'll be having some introduction with each other, and most probably second or third day a plant visit will be arranged. So plant visit usually we have an approach to start the plant visit with the gate entry, from where the materials gets inside. When you buy some material, it will come to my factory. So from where it will come in. So we start from that particular place. Um, so when we start, what we do is we will go to the gate. When a truck comes inside, so we will understand what that guy is doing, the person who is sitting on the gate. Is he writing the truck number? Is he writing driver's name? What information like license? What he's taking from the driver? Then he will be also asking for invoice, vendor invoice, delivery challan. So we will see what things he's asking for. So now he's noting it down, whether he's noting it down in a book, or he's entering somewhere in the system computer what he's doing, that we will understand. And we will also understand whether this information anyone is anyone is uh, later on anyone is going to see this information which is entered in that system, like how it is used. All these things we will understand. Then the truck will go inside. So many companies have weigh bridge. So weigh bridge is like the truck will go on a weighing machine. It's a big weighing machine. Truck will go on that, and then the weight will be taken, and it will be noted down. Like when the truck was going inside, the weight was 3 tons. Okay, and then the truck will go inside. So this 3 tons is taken to verify while the truck comes back out. At that time, it will be checked how much is the weight. Like the truck weight is suppose 1 ton. So while the truck is coming back out, while it is going outside, so it should be only 1 ton. Okay, so that difference will be just for someone is not doing some fraud. So for that also this particular thing is used. So when the truck goes inside and the gate entry is done, then it will go to the warehouse. So in the warehouse, what happens is we have to, when we go there to see all of these things, so we need to see like when the material is offloaded. So what is happening with that? Whether they are labeling with some labels are stick on that all material or not. How the material is kept, like is there a specific arrangement to keep the material? Even after that, many companies have multiple warehouses, like for raw materials, basically. So, if they have a material which is, I will call it as A, if A material comes in, they will keep into warehouse 1. If B material will come, they will keep in warehouse 2, and C will they will keep in warehouse 3. And other material which is a small quantity, all of them they will keep in warehouse 4, something like this. So that also we need to understand. Maybe you can make a note while you are walking through the plant and whatever are your observations. So once that is done, this is like inventory oriented observation in the beginning. Then we will go to the production department. So now, when we go to the production, so we will ask them like how you are asking for material to warehouse. So they will show you some slips that this is the particular slip we write here, and we then take it to the warehouse. Then warehouse will give us the material. All of these things will happen. So you need to observe or understand. Okay, a slip is given. Uh, then while that time only you will in your mind you will start mapping how this will happen in SAP. Okay, so once that is done, then production will the area we will be visiting. So while we are visiting the production area, we'll understand. Now here it is more of a production planning guy. He will be having more questions or things in here, but we will also understand because we need. It's better to understand the whole supply chain. So we will understand that how the production is done. Maybe there are 3, 4 stages: stage one, stage two, stage three. So multiple production orders will be like created in the system, and then the final production will come out. So here one more thing which we need to observe is, see, whenever a production is done, scrap or waste will come out. So usually what companies are doing, they are either utilizing that waste or scrap. They will process it again and they will again use it as a raw material. This is one case, or they will just sell it out. This is one case. So that is somewhere again comes into the picture, because when a scrap comes into the inventory, then what is to be done with that? If it's a production, it goes to the PP guy. If it's a sale, if we want to sell it somewhere out, so guy and the sales guy has to come into that and see. Just a minute. Then when the production is completed, that material is kept in the warehouse. So because not like you do the production and you are sending the material outside. This never happens. So you have to store it somewhere. So again, the inventory part will come into the picture. So here, for keeping this material, even in the raw material warehouse or this, now the production is done, so it's a finished good because we are going to sell that material directly. So we call it as finished good. So this, while storing this material, there it can be stored in two ways. One is inventory management, which comes under SAP and the second is warehouse management. So extended EWM, extended warehouse management. So extended warehouse management, basically it is the material is stored in a very organized and arranged way, where your material will be kept in on one rack in a particular area that will be called as bin, and all of these things, so that all transactions and everything is different. That is a different module altogether. But when you come to inventory management, so it is like there is a open space and you are keeping material everywhere, and you are not whenever a material is required, so your guy will go check where is the material and he will bring the material. So you will understand more about what I'm talking, inventory management and EWM later on. Okay. So if you don't understand, it is fine, no problem. Then, yeah, no, no, no. We are doing the same thing. We are not. Uh, I am explaining the phases for implementation. So right now we are in a phase of blueprinting. Okay. So business blueprint. So here, what we do in the beginning of the this particular phase is like we visit the plant and we understand things. What happens? What we have to observe in the plant. So right now I'm explaining that. Then we will come to the next stages and business blueprint. Okay. So in business blueprint, this is a phase. It goes for 1 to 2 months. Okay. So you are visiting the plant. Maybe visiting the plant will take 1 to 3 days. It depends on how many plants they have and how big is the plant. Okay. So after visiting, okay, then we were at the EWM warehouse of finished goods. So then wherever the customer orders something, so material will be like we will be selling the material, and the sales and distribution SAP module, they will process the delivery invoice, PGI, and the material go outside. Okay. So this is somewhere where we how the plant visit happens. Okay. So do anyone has any doubt in this, or you need to understand more on this? I should explain more on this somewhere, some point, please. So in business blueprint, what will happen next is when you complete visiting the plant. Now, in the first phase of project preparation, and even in the blueprint phase, sometimes you are introduced to the CTM, core team member from the customer side. So in my case, when I'm a MM guy, I will be like the counter person from the customer side will be someone, one from the purchase and one from the inventory. Okay. So why do we need these guys is they will be explaining us what exactly they are doing in purchase. Okay. And we, after understanding that, we will be developing the system for them. So after visiting the plant, we have almost for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We schedule some sessions with these CTMs. Okay, so I will go to the purchaser, and the person who is assigned to me. I'll sit with him. I will ask him multiple questions, or I will just ask him, "What do you do in procurement? How do you do the domestic procurement? How do you do the import? How do you do the service? How do you do the um, subcontracting? How do you do the transfers to other plant?" I will be asking all of these things. So now, how these sessions move is like, first of all, you need to have a book pen with you, and once suppose I'm asking about the imports, so I'll just give an example. So in imports, what happen usually is there is a PR created from from the department, purchase requisition, that we'll learn later on. A purchase order is given to the vendor somewhere. Suppose I'm in India, I'm giving a purchase order to somewhere in Saudi, suppose. Once he starts delivering the material from there, it comes to my port. So there is a customs, so I have to pay the customs. So I will be asking them like, how are the custom charges, how do you pay that? For paying customs there are multiple ways. Now you can directly pay to the customs, or your CHA, custom clearing agent, means you have assigned a firm, you have assigned a person who will be going to the port, to customs. He will be doing all documentation and he will be paying the money there, and then later on you will pay the money to your CHA, custom clearing agent. So these process we need to understand what exactly they are doing. Then there is something called as incoterms. Okay, so like the till where the materials responsibility is with the vendor. So suppose it is decided that the vendor's responsibility is to till the India port. So anything happens to the material before it comes to the India port, if it gets damaged, if the ship is having some issue, it got sinked in the sea, or anything happens, okay, in that case you don't have to pay to your vendor. Vendor has to bear the loss. Okay, and many times it is like the material will be bought, or like the material responsibility will be mine from the Saudi, from where it is manufactured, from Saudi's warehouse. When it comes out from their, responsibility is mine. Suppose anything happens in between, it is my loss. I have to pay the vendor in any case. So these are Incoterms. So we more of understand what Incoterms they are using. Incoterms is a standard thing. Incoterms 2024. I'll go here. So these are the Incoterms. We are going to learn this, okay? But I'll just take you, I'm just showing you, okay? Uh, you will go later on with this. So these are Incoterms: EXW, DAP, DDP, all of these things. So we understand like what they are exactly using out of this and all of these things. And these sessions will go for like 2 to 3 weeks. Once these sessions are completed, so what we do is we understand what is as is. As is like what they are using at this moment, uh, how they are doing the process of import at this moment. This is as is. And to be is how we will be giving in SAP to them, that is to be. So I will just show you one document. Okay, this is business requirement document. Where is it? Hmm, BRD, correct? Okay, sorry, here is. So here is the document. I'll go to some page number. Okay. Okay. See, just an example here you can see. Here it is written as is. Then as is means what they are doing right now for a particular process. I'll take some, yeah, this process I'll take. Okay, domestic procurement. How they are doing their domestic procurement current process. Now whenever you'll ask them, so they will come up with their issues like what they cannot do today. So they will be having their requirements. So you have to also note down that okay, what requirements they have. So most of the requirements are fulfilled in SAP. Some of them we need to develop. So we will just write it down here, and also the SAP solution that it can be done as a best practice. SAP is providing the solution, something like this. Then we'll come to the process mapped in SAP with flowchart. So flowchart is something like this. Create purchase requisition. It will go for approval. If rejected, it will go here. If it is approved, it will go to contract. If no contract, then it will go to RFQ. All of these things. These are multiple steps what happens in SAP. So these are the transactions code for that. So we will just give a flow chart for this because usually what happens, anyone like even you today, when you are referring this flow chart, you are understanding it very easily. If it would have been written as a paragraph or pointers, it would be a little bit difficult to visualize. So here again, it is also the same. The flow chart points are given here, written in points. So now you can understand. Reading it here is difficult. Understanding is difficult, but here it is very simple. So we give flowcharts because we need to explain the whole document later on. We have to prepare this document as consultant. All module consultant has to do this. And later on, once it is completed, we have to take it to the particular CTM or the counterpart whom we have discussed this all with, and then we have to take their sign on this. So then we have gaps. If there are any gaps, we have to write it over here. Gap is like customer is demanding something which SAP cannot give. So that is a gap. So we have to write it over here. Then standard reports in SAP, then whatever, suppose the RISEF, we will come to this particular term. There is a full form of this. So RISEF is something which is SAP is not providing, you have to develop. So that things are mentioned here. Then the master data required. So this particular format is actually my format, which was designed by me. So not all companies are using this format, but many of them are using similar kind of format. So this is a 89 79 page of document. So you have to prepare this document yourself and then present to the CTM. Okay, once he approves, he will sign off this document, then the business blueprint phase will be completed. So once this phase is completed, along with this BRD document, we also prepare the KDS document. So KDS document is more about the configurations. That what we do is we ask them how many plants you have, how many company codes. So we write it here. We write the description. We write the plant address. Then how many storage location. What is storage location, that will come later on that while we go to this particular enterprise structure. So see, why we are going through this document is this is a right now it's a overview for you. Okay. But later on, when we start doing from the enterprise structure, so that time when again we will go through this document. So that time you'll understand, okay, this document is like it's a guide for what we are doing and what customer has asked. Okay. So we note down all of the things like plant, storage location, all small configuration details over here. Okay. Share plant, purchasing or purchasing group. These are different things. We'll come to that while configuration. So we note here. So on that KDS document, we also take the sign on that KDS document. Because see, we mention in the KDS document, we do mention there are four plants. Plant number is 1100, 1200, 1300, 1400. The names are this. Now, when we go into the realization phase, so this phase is where we do the configurations. Okay. So while we are doing the configurations and development is like coding. If something is required, we give it to the ABAP team. So while this is done, suppose later on they will come up like, okay, sorry, that plant I've given as 1100, but I want it as 2100, 2100. So once the configuration is done, you cannot change anything. If you want to change any, because once a plant is created on that basis, not only PPSD, all modules start their configurations. And if someone says later on, no, I don't, I want it as 2100, if you make the change over there, everything below whatever is configured will you need to scrap it. Otherwise, it cannot be used. Okay. So this should not happen. So what we do is we take the confirmation on the key data structure, like what is the plant, its code and everything, and then only we move ahead. If you don't, you will, what I know is you will not understand 100% what I'm explaining right now. After like 2 to 3 lectures, every lecture you will understand more. After 6, 7 lectures, you will be in a very comfortable situation. You will be understanding multiple things. Okay. So don't worry if you don't understand. Whatever you should understand at least 20%. 80% you don't understand, no problem. Okay. Because you'll understand later on. And this is overview. Yes. Yes, Amirji. Not okay. Mm, That we don't do like that usually. Okay. Um, I'll explain that in some time. Okay. First, I'll complete this all phases and then I'll explain. So, realization phase is where we do the configurations and development. Development is like coding. Okay. Once that is done, okay. Just a minute. Okay, final preparation. So before final preparation, what we also do in final preparation phase, we also do the user trainings. Okay, so here when the system is accepted, the when the realization is getting completed at that time, we show the system to the okay. Just a minute, the call will get disconnected, then the call will get disconnected. So we need to go to the another call. ठीक है. So while the realization phase, yes, yes, it is continued. Yes, thank you for reminding. So in the realization phase, we also what we do is when the system is configured. it is not like not 100% ready, but whenever and whatever is getting ready, we show it to the customer, the counterpart, and then we he will add some things. I also want this, that. So we'll give the solution to him. We'll show him again. These things will happen, and then there will be some conclusion where the counterpart will say, okay, we are okay with the system now, and we can move to the next phase. So the for the next phase, what happens is we we go for the user trainings. So at this point, we also need to prepare the user manuals, like how to create a purchase requisition. So there will be screenshots and everything. Here is a user manual. One user manual is here. So this is the index for that. Then this is the path. Then transaction. This is screen. Here you'll enter the transaction. This screen will come. So after that, you'll be select. These are four things where you need to do the selections. You need to do the selection over here. So what type of selection? So that all things are given here. So this kind of thing, the user manual is something like it is anyone who will pick up the document and just follow the steps, he can create a purchase requisition. This is the ultimate goal of a user manual. So that user manuals we have to prepare and give it to the users. So this is mainly used when after go live, when all users are when all users are start using the system. At that time, the users should, if they got stuck somewhere, they will call, everyone will call you as consultant, or the see account. If there are 50 users and everyone is calling your counterpart and yourself as consultant, so it will be very difficult to attend everyone. So user manuals will help you, the user, to do with the sequence, the process, and you will get come less queries in that case. So that is the use of the user manuals. So at this, after this, the user trainings are given and users are trained. You'll make them sit around, and for the purchase requisition user, you'll ask him to create it. Then purchase order user, you'll ask him. Then GRN goods receipt user, you'll ask him to do the activity. So the whole cycle will be done by the user, so they also understand what exactly happens after what I'm doing. What I'm doing. Okay. So once this is done, then we come to the final preparation. So in the final preparation, what we do is we upload the master data. So basically, uploading the master data in the production system. So the product, while making this production system ready, you need to, as a consultant, you need to upload the material masters, you need to upload the vendors, you need to upload. There are more two, three master datas. You need to upload that. Then, yeah, these things you need to do. So once this is done and the system is ready, so the system is ready for go live. So there is a blackout period. So suppose it's 1st of February when the client wants the system to be live. So before that, 3 to 4 days or 5 days, it is the minimum time which can be kept. So maybe 3 days, the plants will be shut down. So shutdown is like the material movement will be no material movement will be done. Suppose the raw material is there in the warehouse, so that will not be moved. Why? Because the go live is when the stocks are uploaded. So the customer will go to warehouse one, he will calculate all the material, he will put it in the sheet which we will provide him, the format and sheet. Then he'll go to the warehouse to enter the whole material in that sheet. the same sheet. Then warehouse 3, the material code, its quantity. Warehouse 4, material code, its quantity. All of that he will enter and he will pass it on to us. Then what we will do, there is a tool, migration cockpit in the system. There is a process of uploading all of these stocks into the system. So we will just attach that Excel file and do some process, and then the stocks will get uploaded in the system. So now in system it will show location 1, material A, this much stocks. Material warehouse 1, material B, this much. Material stock warehouse 1, material C, this much stock. So all these things you can see in the system. Once you can see this, it's good to go live. Then the plants can be started again, and the go live is done. Everyone will start doing the transaction in the system, doing the goods receipt, creating PO, doing the sales invoice. Sales invoice is basically the most important thing when we do the go live, because customer is waiting for the material and we have to just fill up the trucks and send. But while sending, we need the invoice. So that invoice will be generated in SAP. So SAP, when it is go live, the invoices are generated and it is sent with the truck. So that is the go live. And after that, as per the contract, it is 1 month, 2 month, 3 month support. That support, like after go live support from the IT team or the consultants, and that is done. That's it. So now any query till here, I'll just keep this up. Phase one, two, three, four, five. So we are going to do things like now. After this, we'll go through the business requirement document, which is business blueprint. Then in while that time, we also have KDS document, end user manual, all of these things. Then functional document for realization phase, if you want to do some developments. So that also we will be going to see here. So any query till here. Basically, whatever I have told you, expect what expectation you should have. Understanding should be 30 to 50%, not 100%. New words, new terms, like the concept is new, everything is new. So don't expect you will understand 100. You expect 30 to 50%. As we move ahead, you will understand what we are discussing today. And I will always come back here and talk about this. Okay. Yeah. Now please tell me any queries. Okay. Fine. I have to answer one which Mr. Amir has asked, like what if what I'm saying when I am saying that plants, if I've configured, I cannot go back. So basically, Amirji, what happens is multiple consultant has done multiple configurations, and when you reinstall or take yesterday's backup. So everyone has to go into the system and check that what till what configurations it is there in the system. This is the very first point. The second point is if someone is doing some coding, so that code is, if we decide like this, then he has to either rewrite it or he has to keep the backup of that and then reinstall that. So unnecessary work is there will be unnecessary work. Okay, and this maybe once it can be done. Okay, but not always, because if the customer is not following the KDS, then they will at any time they will come up with new ideas, new things, and you have to accommodate that, and you have to always go take the backup from last 2 3 days. Maybe suppose I am configuring the plant today, and everyone is has done the configuration for next 10 days, and then customer comes and says, I want a different plan code. So what? Everything for 10 days is scrapped. You have to start from a beginning. So that doesn't work. Yes. Way out for this. Okay, okay, okay. Great, great, great. Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah, IMG. Okay. Oh, which document? This BRD document or somewhere else? Okay. Usually we don't have configurations over here. Okay. Okay. Then here. Oh, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, okay, okay. Not tool exactly. The tool used to asset. No, no, not exactly the tool. This is not the correct thing. It is like documentations you can get somewhere on the SCN. Okay, portal. Like SCN is wherever you do the like anyone you have some queries, you will give that, and then they will answer your things. Okay. Even SAP must be giving somewhere some documentations for like configurations. Suppose you have to do plant configuration, so there must be some documents from SAP, but not exactly the tool. Okay, so you'll get some documents, but here and there, like this. Yes. Yeah, yeah, sure. If Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure. Okay. If you find some link where SAP is providing the configuration documents, sure, you can share us. Usually SAP also provides the SAP like when you like they also provide the SAP MM, or for any of the modules, they also provide the books. So that books will have all the process for configuration and the end user process and everything. Okay. So that usually can be referred. Okay. But that is a very vast thing. If you start referring that, it's a very big book. For learning purpose, it is good, but when you go for implementation and you start looking at that book, that is not going to help you. Okay, that is the reason usually people who have experience more than 5, 6 years go for implementation, because while on support or doing some configurations, they have got some experience with it, and they can easily go and do it the work in a faster way.